Good day, and welcome to Good Day Runway, the great pop culture debates video review of the looks from RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. I'm your host, Eric Resniak, and I'm joined again by my very special co-host, my favorite bloomin' onion, Curtis Creekmore. Hi, Curtis.
Hi, Eric.
So we are now 3 episodes in to Drag Race Down Under, and Curtis, how are you feeling about the show?
The show in general, I think, is great. I really appreciate so many different pieces of it. I think it's fun. I think it's good overall. But the judging, especially in this episode, was suspect, I think is the best way. The wiggatry, the buffoonery, the gaggatry.
It was sus, it was suspicious. It's all the things the children are saying.
Yes, it was all of those things for sure. In watching the episode, I was like, okay, Electra's in the top. Because it's been 13 seasons now, right? At least 13 seasons worth of the judges telling us again and again, you have to stand out. Safe isn't good enough. When you're in a group challenge, you got to make sure that you're the one that's standing out. We need to be looking at you. And then for them to call her a Beyonce and that she was going too hard and she was making the other girls look bad. Step your pussy up then, bitch. It is not my fault that you can't dance. Get up off the floor and do something. I should not have to tell you to dance better or harder or stand out. That was ridiculous. And then for them to say that Maxie stood out and I just couldn't take my eyes off her. No, ma'am. Come on, y'all.
Your tone seems very pointed right now.
Just like your chin, Eric.
I wish I had a chin that was what. No, but I hear what you're saying. I have no issues with Maxie. Maxie is,
No.
I love her. But I hear exactly what you're saying. And I also thought, and we'll get to this when we get to the actual looks, they were extremely hard on Elektra this week for reasons I don't fully understand. But the thing I've been saying since episode 1 about this franchise is you can see the narrative that's being pushed so hard. It's not as egregious as we saw in season 13, where they were just dragging Candy, speaking of girls just laying on the stage, through that entire fucking competition to the bitter end. This is a little bit different in that they have multiple different subplots going. It's kind of Game of Thrones. I feel that it's very Varys, right? That's a totally ridiculous reference, and I'm sorry for everybody watching. But yeah, it is. The show has to lay off these overproduced narratives because it's really turning people off.
I think they feel like they have to hamstring Elektra. Like they actually see that she's a star. Now, she's not my favorite by any means. I do think she's super talented.
Sure.
And yes, most of her looks are coming across as basic. And that's like, okay, you do need money to win. I don't care what they fucking say. You cannot go on Drag Race without having a decent amount of coin to have looks that look good together and not win. Like you have to have some money, but Elektra has this star power that I think they're seeing, and they're like, we have to convince the audience that she is not a good drag queen so that they don't root for her.
Especially because some of the other queens that they expected to be giving us star power really aren't right now. And so I think that is the other thing. If you want more of these thoughts, by the way, make sure you go to greatpopculturedebate.com to the bonus section where you'll find blogs on every episode. I'm in the middle of writing the blog for this week's episode right now. By the time you view this, it will already be up. And we'll get into which queens I think are underperforming in a way that I think was actually very surprising to the judges. I'm sure they're just like, where are you? Why are you not here? Like, this is for you. This exists for you. Why are you not showing up? I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
With that being said, go check out the blog, and we are going to get right to tooting, booting, pooting, shooting, and mooting the looks from episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, season 1. And the category was bogan prom. Now, what is a bogan? My United States colleagues might be asking. I'm so glad that you did. I went and I looked up in the Oxford Dictionary because I am trifling, and it is, let me peer in because I'm very old and I need to look at things very closely. Quote, an uncouth or unsophisticated person regarded as being of low social status. So I feel very seen. Apparently I am a bogan. Curtis?
A bogan is like a redneck. Yes. I think is the US equivalent. So I am so glad that I get to do this hailing from Williamsburg, Kentucky, home of the redneck. That was our mascot for our high school. Not really. but it
Oh,
could have been. It could have been.
yeah. And I'm hailing from Lafayette, New York, where there were more cows than people. So I think we are uniquely qualified to judge this runway.
Yes.
Buckle up, kids. It's not going to be pretty. First up to the stage, we have et cetera, et cetera. Curtis, what do you think?
So it was meh. The thing is, this was meant to be a camp runway. So the camp queens should have killed it. And I didn't see it. I didn't see it for most of them. This is fine. It's a tracksuit. Even a bogan slash redneck is not going to really wear a tracksuit to a prom. I get the pieces she was going for. It's a moot for me.
Totally moot for me. I expect more from et cetera. I frankly was disappointed with her across the board this episode. And it's not, if it was a tracksuit that had some type of a playful humor to it, like if you'd
Correct.
made it instead of juicy into boozy something, maybe I would have been more interested. But this to
Yeah.
me felt extremely safe and low stakes. And for this international competition, I just need more. And I'll say this, I feel like this is a theme that should have been one look in a ball. Like if this was in the
Mhm.
middle of two other looks, this runway would have been more successful to me. But overall, it's not particularly a wow runway. So
Yeah.
that's two moves for et cetera. Next up, we have Coco Jumbo. Curtis?
Again, like, oh, it's just not great. She got caught in the weeds outside while she was giving someone a blowy. At least that's what I was getting from it. She looked
Absolutely.
like a messed up grapevine. Like I just don't know. It was too short for me. I get that she was going for that like slutty piece, but it just didn't read right. I don't know. The one thing that I really appreciated about her look was the knees. Like she had put some dirt or something on her knees to look like she had just gotten up off them. Appreciate that detail. Still a moot.
I'm going to boot it. I actually think
Mm.
I did not notice the knee detail. That is cute. Get the concept. Check it. I'm wearing a Real Housewives t-shirt. Queen Luann from New York, drunk in the bushes. Like I am 100% getting where you're going from. This is to me a dress that is about 5 sizes too small. I could see her panties literally. Maybe that was part of the gag, but this is a Deb clearance rack look with some Michael's vines in the hair. This cost about $7, kids. And I know it's supposed to be the like cheapo slag runway, but Coco is not participating at a level on this show that you should
Now
be
she's not
participating in.
participating at all.
Spoilers, yeah. But it's not good enough. I can't even moot it because to me it's such a like non-entity that I have to boot it. Next up, it's Anita Wiglet. What do we think, Curtis?
I didn't quite understand this one either. I think she was going for denim. Was that meant to be denim? Because it didn't really look like denim, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't. It didn't go. I appreciated the gaps in the teeth. No, no, moot.
I actually am going to toot this one because I don't know if she was going for denim, but to me, what she was giving me, especially in her performance, and that's one of the areas where Anita really shines, is the
Hmm.
way that she sells her garments, was this trailer park goddess who thinks she looks amazing, right? Like I fully understand this woman, and if she's going to prom, she is walking in there in this outfit, and she thinks she is lit. And so I got that from this look. Is it particularly prom? Is it particularly exciting? No. But I think for what is ultimately a whiff of a runway concept, I'm going to toot it. I feel like the hair, the makeup is great.
This could have been really great. I love the story that you just told. That person would go over the top. That look would be absolutely covered in fringe or like I don't even know. It would just be so much more than it is because when you go to prom and you're poor, that is the one time that you get to be the belle of the ball. And this is just way too basic, way too simple for someone to walk out of the house and be like, I look good. No, you don't.
I
Next.
mean, Australian Peg Bundy. That's what I'm going to say to you. And also, my 1995 prom, I wore teal paisley. That's what you need to know. Speaking of poor people going overboard. Next, we have Scarlett Adams. What do we think, Curtis?
Finally, a good look. I was shocked. Scarlett has been bringing it, and I did not expect that from the intro look. I think I
Mm.
had her pegged as one of the first people to go home, and obviously I was wrong. She's doing really well. I loved this. It's kitschy, it's camp, it's fun, it's still a little bit fashion. She has shape. It's interesting to look at. It's the first toot I am willing to give today.
I'm tuning it as well. I don't quite love it as much as you do. I think
Mm.
the necklace is great. The hair and makeup is great. The concept is really good. The fact that the purse actually is like a box wine bag, that's all really good. I get what she was going for, especially in the bottom. It's supposed to be the bag. It's supposed to be heavy feeling and bunching, and that. But
Mhm.
I'm just like, I wish the execution was just a little bit stronger. Still, it's a two. It's a complete two, and agreed. Scarlett's impressing me in ways that I was not anticipating. So thanks for that, I guess. Next up, we have Electroshock. Go ahead, Curtis.
So here's again, the judging was so off. This is to me one of the strongest looks. It is bogan prom. That is exactly what someone who doesn't have any money but thinks that she wants to look good would wear. That was perfection. Like that's exactly what they were asking for. And it's not super elevated, but it's not meant to be. It still has like the details. It still looks good. It's still, I truly do not understand where the judging was coming from at all this week. I'm going to give this a toot.
Yeah, I'm tuning it too. I thought that was bullshit. I was like, she I think embodied the theme better than almost anybody on
Yeah.
that stage. I think even Michelle's like, you've got to elevate it with accessories. Bitch, she did. Like, I don't know what else you could have done for this look. It is, again, that narrative that they're pushing, and we're not buying it. We're simply
No.
not buying it. Electra has had some real boots on this stage, but this is not
Mhm.
one of them. I think it's probably her best look to date and one of the best
Yeah,
from this entire runway.
totally
Uh,
agree.
Next up, it's Kid Amin.
This was the opposite of that. It still looks good, I guess, but it does not meet the brief whatsoever. You wouldn't wear this to prom. You wouldn't wear this if you were a bogan. So obviously you wouldn't wear it to a bogan prom. Like it's not what I was looking for. Is it actively bad enough that it's a boot? I'm not totally certain. I'm just gonna give it a moot because this whole fucking runway was meh.
I'm actively booting this.
Okay.
It is not the runway theme whatsoever. I don't see anything about this is bogan, but it's also not visually appealing.
Mm.
Okay, let's have a moment. Drag queens, if you're watching this, if you're gonna go on RuPaul's Drag Race, you name me one time any queen has worn that highlighter green and it has looked good. Madame LaQueer in season 4. When Thorgy Thor came and did the AS2 like runway
Yep.
rescue of her neon look. Who else am I thinking of who recently wore that terrible highlight green?
Shit. Oh,
There was another one,
Bayou,
Chi Chi Devane.
Cheese Eat the Vein.
But
Yes.
there was even another one recently, and they always look bad. It looks
Mm.
sickly. Like it does. It is not a color that reads well on television.
Mm.
Don't do it. It does not going to work. If you can find a way of pulling it off, God bless you. But I'm telling you, you are going up the wrong tree with that one. Go pink, go any other color, blue, whatever, neon, whatever. But that neon green does not work on television. For that reason alone, I'm Michelle Visaging it. I'm booting it.
Yep.
Also, I just don't think it's a very good look. Kita can do better and has done better. Next up, it's Maxi Shield. What do you think, Curtis?
I was a little bit torn on this one. It has elements. I love the jacket. I wear that fucking jacket. It's cute. And I get that she was going as the chaperone. That's a cute aspect to it, but it still just doesn't quite fit it. She looks like she's going on the strip in Vegas, like she's about to pull some slots and then pull some slots. I no moot. I cannot act. I can't give this a two. I can't. So moot from me.
I loved this. I actually thought this was really fun. I totally got the chaperone thing, that enormous fucking fanny pack. That jacket is major. The hair is fantastic. The makeup was great. That thing that she did with her lips where there was a little bit of white around the center of it. I loved this. The nips akimbo. Like, I think it's really, seriously, it's really fun. And this is the best Maxi has looked to me the entire competition. Last week, I criticized, I'm serious. Last week, I criticized her because everything felt smushed. And this time, it is exploding out of her, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really fun and successful. I would want to go and have drinks with this woman. I would be like, you and me, we're doing shots of Fireball right now.
Eric, you are that woman.
I know. It's true. It's like looking into the future. And next we have Karen from finance. What do we think, Curtis?
You mean Rosé? It's immediately, as soon as she came out with that fucking tulle-ish fringe, it was, it's fine. Again, this was a camp runway, and this is the camp queen, and you didn't bring it. It's not good. You're not gonna wear a pantsuit like that, or a jumpsuit, I guess, to prom. Prom is gowns. Prom is elegance. And then you're just putting the like bogan on top of it, and it just didn't do it. I'm gonna moot it too, because this whole runway to me was just a flop.
I'll mood it too. It's again, let's have another moment where we're talking. These giant ruffled outfits, ladies. Nope. I don't know what you're looking at them being like, yes, that's the silhouette for me.
Right.
Just like someone took an eraser and went over me. And like, nope, it's just not good. And I understand she's not trying to look good or trying to look flattering here, but it's just not even interesting or fun. It's messy and almost sad looking. Like you said, Rose, I'm getting gross. Like it's just not good. And I expect more from Karen. And I feel like that's going to be the recurring theme this season. With that being said, what's your top 2 of the week, Curtis?
You know, it was really difficult because I went back and forth on this, but I still decided nobody, no one did well enough on this for me to give a top 2. I appreciated Elektra. I appreciated Scarlett. It was just such a lackluster runway when it really could have been something fun, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Absolutely nobody gets top 2 of the week this week. It is a sea of meh. And I am hoping that our queens, and I love all of these queens, I genuinely do, I love all of them, can really start to bring it in a much more intense way going forward, because this far, we're almost halfway through the season, kids, and it's crazy, and I'm just not feeling the energy from this series. I'm just not. So again, check out the blog at greatpopculturedebate.com in the bonus section. That's where you will find all the blogs for this week's episode and all the previous ones, as well as UK2 season 13. We're going to be doing España. In fact, our viewer pool for España is currently open. You can go and join that. Anyone can play. It's free. You pick a couple queens. You get points depending how they perform every episode. And at the end of the season, whoever has the most gets a lovely prize package provided by Great Pop Culture Debate. I have no idea what that's going to be right now, but we will figure it out. And make sure that you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more Drag Race content. We do videos for these, as well as some other really fun exclusive videos coming up. And make sure while you're at greatpopculturedebate.com, you go to the polls and brackets section, because the polls for season 4 are now live. And your votes will determine which items make the bracket for our topics. We have best pizza topping, best Disney villain, best Star Wars character, best TV show canceled too soon. So your say actually makes a difference here. Please vote, share them with your friends. The more votes, the merrier. With that, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you, Curtis, for being my co-host. And we will be back next week with another episode of Good Day Runway, and we will Sheila later.